This video goes over how to calculate gross pay with bonuses. The distinction between two types of bonuses is very important because non-discretionary bonuses are considered part of regular pay. Again, non-discretionary bonuses are considered part of regular pay. So that is similar to commissions. And I have on the right hand side here the previous video on commissions that we went over. And commissions is part of regular pay, okay? When we have discretionary bonus, it is not part of regular pay. When it is non-discretionary, it is part of regular pay, similar to commissions. So you would treat it how you treat commissions. In this problem, let's get to it. Jefferson earns $8.50 per hour. During the most recent week, he receives a discretionary bonus of $1,000 and works 47 hours. So very important, discretionary bonus. And the distinction is that it is not part of regular pay. And as you see in the calculation, it'll be treated differently from how we had treated commissions. First, what is discretionary bonus and what is non-discretionary bonus? Discretionary bonus is one that is unplanned. It's not contingent on the employee reaching specific goals. An example is a surprise holiday bonus given to employees at the end of the year. That's discretionary bonus. And non-discretionary bonus is one that is planned and that an employer pays as a result of specific metric being met. An example is a longevity bonus paid to an employee on his or her 10th anniversary with a company. All right, let's get to the problem, how we calculate the gross pay for Jefferson, who receives a discretionary bonus. First, we lay out the problem, all the information that's given, which is a rate of $8.50 per hour, discretionary bonus of $1,000, and I note here it's not part of regular pay. And Jefferson worked 47 hours, so 7 hours of that is overtime pay. And again, we lay out the components of gross pay. Gross pay is regular wage plus the bonus wage in this case and any overtime wage. Let's start off with regular wage. Regular wage here, we take $7.50 per hour times 40 hours. It comes out to $340. All right, that's different from when we did commissions, which we treat as part of regular pay, and we did the calculation differently. We took the regular wage rate and times all hours worked. Here, we're not timing all hours worked, not the 47 hours, just the 40 hours. And you see why. Next, bonus wage. Bonus wage, it's given in the problem, $1,000, and again, it's discretionary bonus, so it is not counted as regular pay. Next is the overtime wage. Overtime wage, $8.50 per hour times 1.5 times 1.5. All right, that gives us the overtime wage rate. And then times the 7 hours of overtime, it gets us the overtime wage. So overtime wage is $89.25. And there we have the three components. We add them up. regular wage plus bonus wage plus overtime wage, which is these three figures, and that comes out to a sum of $1,429.25. This is more straightforward than in the commissions, all right? Because commissions is part of regular pay, whereas discretionary bonus is not part of regular pay. Now, if this was non-discretionary bonus, then we would have a calculation that would be pretty similar to this method right here, all right? Here, because discretionary bonus is not part of regular pay, so we calculate it differently. We have a more straightforward calculation. Regular wage, we just take the rate given times the 40 hours, the regular hours worked. And then bonus wage, it's $1,000 on its own. We don't have to do any calculation beyond what's given. And then the overtime wage, it's 7 hours of overtime times the overtime rate. To get the overtime rate, it's the regular rate times 1.5, and then times the 7 hours of overtime. So as you can see here, this overtime wage is different from how we calculate it here. Here, we are not calculating the overtime wage. It's the additional amount of overtime above the regular pay. All right. Here, it's the whole overtime rate, the $850 times 1.5 times the 7 hours. And that's because the regular is already calculated at 40 hours times $850. Here it's the regular rate times all the hours. So we already calculate the 2 hours of overtime at $7.25 here. So then when we come to the overtime portion, we already had the 2 hours at $7.25. Here we are just trying to get the portion that's above the $7.25. So in order to get that, it was somewhat complicated. We had to figure out the regular rate right here. That's how we figure out the regular rate. And then that allows us to get the overtime rate. So once we get the overtime rate, we take the difference between the overtime rate and the regular rate. So that's the amount that's above the regular rate. That's the premium, quote unquote premium, 16 or the additional overtime wage at $16.72 per hour. That's the 16.72 above the regular rate, right? Because overtime is $50.16, which is $16.72 above the regular. And so we only take what's above the regular times the 2 hours of overtime. Here, we're not taking what's above the regular. We are taking the whole overtime rate. So it's the regular times 1.5 times 7 hours. Here, we get the 16.72 per hour by taking the overtime rate minus the regular rate and then times the 2 hours of overtime. So it's very, very important to have this distinction of the difference in how each of these are calculated. Bonuses, when it's discretionary bonus, it's calculated more straightforward like this. If it was non-discretionary bonus, then it's treated as part of regular pay. And when it's part of regular pay, you have to treat it with the calculation similar to commissions. And that's why I have it laid out here on the right hand side to show you how we had done commissions, so that way you can compare it side by side with bonuses when it's discretionary bonus. If it was, again, non-discretionary bonus, you would calculate it just like on the right hand side. All right.